I'm leaning forward today because this is something different. Hello. I wanted to give like a statement of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it before I'm actually getting into today's topic at all. So this is supposed to be a series in the long run where I will be tackling some real life quote-unquote difficult subjects. I'm gonna start out today with something fairly trivial and fairly easy. The question was, what can I give that's only me? What can I do on Twitch aside from a niche game that I'm playing, which is City Skylines, that not a lot of people are playing, and even less people are playing it the way that I'm playing it? And how do I get from there to something that's worthwhile? Something that I've always done in my life was talk about difficult things, was challenge ideas, challenge people, make it something that's uncomfortable for a lot of people. Yeah, that's how this whole idea got started. And I asked on my socials, like, what kind of topics are people interested in? Over the course of the next months, I'm actually going to tackle like pretty difficult topics, I would assume. I hope that I hope I'm not stumbling over my words too much. I don't want to edit this too much if I'm uploading it on YouTube. Listen, I guess this is just me getting into it. So let's get into it. Welcome to my first ever presentation on my channel. Today's topic is actually, as you're gonna see on the screen, interacting on Twitch. I don't think what I'm saying is exclusive to Twitch at all. I'm also not saying that, and I wanna really enforce this, I don't know everything. This topic, while not being too complicated, is still complex and has a lot of layers. So if I'm missing anything and you want to add something to it, please do so. I'm always eager to learn more about anything that I'm saying, and how to give kind of feedback and how to enrich other people's content is also going to be part of this. It is very important that I say that up front, and maybe I'm gonna repeat it a few times because nobody knows everything about any topic, and still I can say I'm somewhat of an informed person. Because I am a streamer on Twitch, while being small I still have interaction with people on Twitch, either on the streamer side or on the chatter side. I'm moderating a few channels. I also have a Discord channel that I'm running and moderating. And so I have a few of my own experiences, but I also reached out to other people and asked, what's important to you in this topic? What do you want to see when we're talking about interaction on Twitch? What are some do's and some don'ts? So Twitch and Twitch chat can be quite confusing, right? And the first things first, Twitch has terms of service. Like every company has terms of service, and we don't read them and click accept. And that's fine. I didn't read all of them either, but there's a few things I want to point out that stand out from the TOS. I want to quote these. Twitch aims to be a place where everybody can come together in shared community experiences. This vision is threatened when people experience harmful rhetoric and abuse on Twitch. So, clear mission statement by what is Twitch supposed to be. Twitch does not permit behavior that is motivated by hatred, prejudice, or intolerance, including behavior that promotes or encourages discrimination, denigration, harassment, or violence. It's clear to say Twitch does not permit that behavior. So anytime somebody is in your chat and it's all about freedom of speech or something, no. Twitch clearly says in their TOS that they will rather have this safe space and not have freedom of speech. But this is where it gets interesting. Creators are role models and leaders of the communities they create or foster around them. This is a sentence that I want you to keep in mind for a few minutes, because we're going to talk about this a little bit more. But this sentence is not about what Twitch does, but it's about what content creators, i.e. streamers, producers, etc., have to do on Twitch. And we ask streamers, we ask them to make a good faith effort to moderate their chat. So when you're streaming on Twitch, you're signing off on these TOS. When you're making an account for chatting, you're also signing off on these TOS. So that means as a content creator, moderate my chat. If unwanted behavior persists in these chats, for example, we recommend you report the user and consider other options, such as blocking the user's account or banning them from chat. So this is a recommendation, not a rule, not a law or anything, but it still clearly tells you about what Twitch expects from creators, right? So this is the next thing. What does that mean? What does that mean for today's topic? Why am I bringing out these things? It means when we say creators should consider the consequences of their statements and actions of their audiences. That means not only my actions, my statements I should consider, but also the consequences of the actions of my audience. So if my audience misbehaves, it's my responsibility to act upon it. That means the creator itself or themselves is responsible for the community. It's their call. They being the content creator. We as creators are responsible for our community, and it's our call what happens in our stream. It's me who's responsible. It's me who's who has to take consequence, right? And we, or they, the creators, are expected to moderate Twitch. So not only is it like, please moderate, but it's like we sign off on the TOS saying we have to moderate our chat. If you didn't know that, now you know. You as a content creator are responsible to moderate chat. And what does that mean for the user? It means respect the streamers, respect the content creators. Because as I said, it's their call what happens. They are taking the brunt of the consequence if the audience misbehaves and moderation isn't quick enough. But that's a really like blanket term, respect the streamer. So I thought, what does that even mean? What does it mean to respect the streamer? Like that's such a non-committed sentence. Of course, everybody can say, "Oh, respect the streamer," but first things first, read their rules. Before you interact with a streamer on any platform or in any case, read their rules. There's a really nice function on Twitch that gives you the option as a content creator to set up rules for your chat. The first time you come in, it's going to display, and you're going to have to click that purple button that says, okay, gotcha, I understand. that means you should read those. Some of them are pretty long, some of them are pretty short. And that means when you come into a chat, that's the first thing you do, is go and look, are there any chat rules? Is there anything I should know before I use the chat? And not only should you read those rules, you should also accept them. Accept doesn't mean tolerate, it just means accepting it. You don't have a say in the rules of my chat. You don't have a say in any streamer's rules. That's the rules. If you're not okay with these rules, you should not be in that stream. Listen to what the streamers are saying. That sounds like a fairly easy point, but it's a lot of times I see that that's not happening. That I hear streamers saying, please do not talk about this in my chat, and people just like, why can't we talk about this and stuff like that. Listen to the streamer, because it's their call. And also listen to moderators if present. Like, if there is no moderator in the chat, then just assume that the streamer is moderating themselves. But if there is mods that you can clearly see with the moderation symbol in their chat, then listen to them, because the streamer has made them a mod and what they say goes. The second point is, not only should you respect the streamer, but also respect the content. Like, what does that mean? It's the streamer's choice what they stream. That's something that a lot of people don't get. Especially coming in with the new chat rules, with the new categories that Twitch has announced, people are like flaming content creators for their content. It's begun to be a meme to like hate people for doing hot tub streams, hate people for doing I don't know, just chatting streams. Is like Counter-Strike streamers hate on Valorant streamers, and League of Legends streamers hate on World of Warcraft streamers and whatnot. It's not, again, this is not your call. The streamer has chosen to say, this is what I'm streaming today, so this is what they're streaming. And you support their choice or you leave. That's it. If you're not, like, there's a million content creators on stream right now, I guess. I don't even know how many. If you think I want to see something else being streamed, there's something else to be watched, right? Now, check the tags. Or ask about backseating. That's especially helpful for gaming streams. But also there's different tags for different channels, and also like sometimes it's in the rules or not, about backseating, about giving feedback, about suggestions, about stuff like that. You should check that before you say, hey, go in that room, do you find something useful there? You check the tags, or you ask. Like, if there's not a tag, I usually come into a stream and say, hey, do you mind some help with that game? Or if somebody's playing GeoGuessr, which is very popular streaming category, you're like, do you want chat to help you to guess? And that's an easy way to just ask before you say, this is Argentina. And the streamer maybe wanted to guess themselves, right? Respect the vibe of the stream is something that a lot of people say, and I think it doesn't need a lot of explanation, but maybe I'll just say a word or two about it. That means when I come into a channel that I don't know, I maybe wait like a minute or two before I even interact on the chat. Like I see, okay, this is a chill vibe. Oh, hey, this is a really hyper channel. Oh, this channel has like a really serious topic right now. Or hey, this channel is like all about the funs and the memes and stuff. And I act accordingly. And this ask before giving feedback kind of goes back to the backseating thing. This is something that is not only for streamers, but it's just very bad and very difficult in communication anyway. Giving feedback is difficult. Receiving feedback is more difficult. But if you think you know something that the streaming person does not know, and it's not like backseating, but maybe about stream, like video quality, audio quality, alerts, moderation, whatever it be, you're like, oh, I know something that they don't and it might help them. It's still not your call to just give that feedback, because in that feedback you imply that the streamer does not know that, and maybe they don't and chose not to do it that way. So you say, hey, do you mind some feedback about your stream? Or I noticed your, I don't know, whatever it is. Do you mind if I give some pointers about that? And mostly people will be happy about it, but sometimes people will be, yeah, no, I'm fine. Now, actually coming to the thing of how to chat. So that you don't get banned, so that not all of your messages get banned and everything. We've been talking like really general on how to behave, but let's break it down to the chat. I repeat, read the chat rules. This should go without saying, but I'm gonna repeat it anyway. And that's what I just said. Observe the chat for a bit before chatting to read the room, right? If I'm like, for example, if you stumble upon this stream right now while I'm delivering this fairly serious topic, and you just come in and be like, I don't know, with a like really weird energy, it's not gonna fit, and you're just gonna upset people, I guess. Introduce yourself or say hello. How is that not common sense? It should be common sense. Your first sentence can be, hi, how are you doing? Again, it's very easy to say what not to do, like don't be don't let your first sentence be a meme or a joke or the feedback or whatever, or backseating, but just say, hi, I just discovered your channel. What are you playing? At the beginning of your chat, you should ask for rule clarification. So if something in the rules isn't totally sure, like you're reading this and you're like, so do they want backseating or not? Do they want feedback or not? Is it okay to chat in another language? Is it okay to post links because I didn't really read that in the rules? Is it okay to post memes or not? Ask. That's the easiest way to do it, right? That's the easiest thing to say at the beginning, is like, hey, I couldn't really understand. Did you want me to help with your game or not? Ask questions about the topics of the stream. That's a fairly nice way to first of all introduce yourself, but also to give the streamer something to talk about, right? And to help you get to know the streamer and the topic. If you're coming to this stream right now and you're being like, hey, what's the topic? topic is right there. But you can ask about that. You're just like, what's your opinion about this anyway? What's your take? And initiate or participate in a topic. So if there's not a topic right now, you are coming to a new streamer who doesn't have a lot of chatters, you can initiate a topic. Sure, nobody's forcing you to talk about the game that's on the screen. Sometimes that's boring. Like, why do I want to talk about Donkey Kong Country Jr. or something like that, right? Maybe I have a topic that hey, did you see the Super Bowl last year? And see if anybody responds or not. But also try to relate your chat to the stream. So while these random topics can initiate a nice discussion, maybe not let it be your first interaction. Maybe your first interaction can be, hey, I remember playing this game back in '95 and it was amazing, or something like that, right? The next is an important subject. How to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. It's human. It's okay. You don't only make mistakes when communicating, but communication is a very difficult, multi-layered subject. You will always make mistakes. And it's fine. Don't worry about it. Make mistakes. Please make mistakes. Like, if you don't make a mistake, how are we gonna progress? Please make the mistake. I'm actually asking you to make mistakes. But if you make a mistake, and you will make a mistake, just accept it. You made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. And especially if you're being called out for it. Like if somebody says, hey, that wasn't the right thing to say. Okay, I made a mistake. And that's the most powerful thing you can do when making a mistake, is just accepting that you made a mistake. And you take responsibility or face the consequences for that mistake. It doesn't matter afterwards. Like, it happened. It's over. You made that mistake. Consequences sound like a super big word, but a consequence can also just be say sorry. That's a consequence of a mistake. Is I made a mistake, I'm saying sorry. That's just the natural consequence of making a mistake. But it could also be could mean bigger consequences, like a timeout is a good tool for the streamer to tell you, hey, you overstepped the line. If you like, I'm giving you a second chance, but you get 10 minutes to think about it. That's your 10 minutes to come back and say, hey, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. And move on. Why move on? Because you just stay on the topic, right? If you're like pumping on over and over about this mistake and be like either super apologetic or worse, being critical about the decision by the mods or the streamer, you're just gonna get banned. Moving on is important. Like, if you just stay on the mistake, first of all, you're gonna be unhappy, but second of all, everybody else will be unhappy. Just stay on the topic. So we were talking about Warhammer 40k, you made a mistake, and now we're talking about your mistake for the next hour? No. We're still gonna be talking about Warhammer 40k. So in case you missed all of that, or in case you clicked here, skipped everything, or muted me, this is the point where you maybe unmute me. This is my TLDR. If you watched it all the way to here, thank you very much. I just want to wrap it up, give you some pointers about what I just said. Please read the chat rules. respect the streamer and the moderation in any way you can. The content creators are responsible for everything that goes on in their channel, and Twitch will hold them accountable for what happens in their channel. Accept feedback and act accordingly. Somebody says this isn't the right way to do it, then do it the right way. Have fun. Spread positive behavior. This is the most important thing you can do. If you knew everything that I just said, because you say this common sense and I do that all the time, then spread it. Be a good force in the community. Tell everybody how good it is to have a community on Twitch. Show them. Be there. Right? Have fun. Spread fun. It doesn't mean you have to force yourself to be fun, but in a way that you are. Like, be honest, be respectful, be positive. And that's it. That's the end of my presentation for now. Thank you so much for watching it. Here's a question. I only have one moderator, so how do I find a determined and helpful moderator who is loyal to your channel? So that's a very important question, and I actually want to talk about this a few seconds. So a lot of people have this question, I think, Wayne. I've seen it. I've seen people go into other streams and be like, oh, will you be my moderator and stuff like that. And people think that you have to have like one moderator who's there 24/7. Like every time you're streaming, that person. So a lot of people don't want to be moderators because they think that's the responsibility that you have for your stream, is be there all the time. But I would assume that it's better to have like a small team of, maybe, depending on the size of your chat, like 3, 4, 5 moderators who are sometimes there, right? Maybe get some people from different time zones who are in your channel. If they come into your channel, if they are supporting you for a while, you can ask them, hey, sometimes you're on at the same time that I'm on. Want to moderate for me sometimes? And make clear to the moderators that they don't have to be there all the time. Rather have a team that's not always on at the same time, so that the responsibility is spread over multiple people. If you ask somebody to be your moderator, tell them that you're asking like 3 different people so that they know it's not on them alone. Something that I want to say about moderators. If you don't have time to moderate your chat and you have a moderator in your chat, and the moderator decides to do a moderative action, time out somebody, ban somebody, tell somebody, hey, this is not okay, or something. Like, if your moderator has to step in, you support that decision 100%. Because maybe you didn't check the messages, maybe you didn't have like a full eye on it because you were gaming something and the chat was like flowing and you didn't read everything. Trust that your moderator does everything. If you have somebody who's also streaming, that's a really good thing because they know about the challenges of being a moderator. But I would say that's really important to me, is that if you have a problem with that moderative action that your moderator took, talk to them after stream or in a DM or something, right? Don't make it public on your stream. Don't question your moderator in the stream. Don't be like, hey, why did you ban that person? Like, that's not how you do it. Your moderator supports you, you support your moderators. If your moderator, for example, times somebody out and they come in after 10 minutes and be like, hey, your shitty moderator timed me out, you're instantly banned. Like, that person has to be instantly banned because they did not support your moderator. Like, your moderator is an extension of your streaming personality, basically. You, in the best case, you tell your moderator, hey, I want to see this kind of behavior in my stream, and I don't want to see that kind of behavior in my stream. And then you have to trust them that they will act accordingly. Oh, I want to answer that. On my channel, you get 3 attempts. First is a warning, second is the timeout, and third is a ban. Do we all do it the same way? I think that's a fairly reasonable rule of thumb. But I don't think everybody has to do it the same way, and I don't think everybody does it the same way. In my channel, I encourage people to talk about difficult subjects, so I might be more forgiving with questionable behaviors sometimes, because that's my channel, and I have the mental strength sometimes to be like, hey, what you did wasn't correct, and this is basically a warning, but I want to talk to you about why it wasn't correct. And then you can go from there. But I guess that's up to you. I think this rule of thumb for about 3 tries is not bad. It's not a bad rule of thumb to say, I'm giving you a warning, maybe a verbal warning. Maybe my moderator is like in chat being like, hey, don't be a dick. I think I give more than 1 warning before I time out somebody, to be honest, because it could be a misunderstanding. So your moderator does an ace job, and if something looks wrong, he whispers me before he takes a move, unless it doesn't need to, unless there's no question about it. Yeah, see, that's a good way to deal with moderation as well. Is like, if your moderator doesn't want to take this responsibility upon themselves, that's a good thing to say, hey, if you're not sure, just ask me. Just be like, hey, this person is like weird, do you want me to ban them or something? Or hey, I'm not sure if I get the vibe for this person. Or hey, this person DM'd me, they wanted to post a link, but I'm not sure. That's a good way. I mean, also that's good advice for your chatter as well. Like, if you're chatting and you see somebody with a moderation label, and you have questions about the stream, why not DM them? Why not DM a mod and be like, hey, I wanted to post this in the chat, but I wasn't sure if that's okay to post. I think that'd be a good way to get rid of some trouble. I even know a channel where you have to follow for 3 months before you're allowed to say anything in the chat. This is you're loyal to the streamer, which I think is hilariously ridiculous. But also, please, Wayne, remember the beginning of my presentation. Respect the streamer. That's their call. It might be ridiculous to you, but they have a reason. That's just, so if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Like, I can see some streams that I've been watching for months and I haven't ever chatted, because it's like streams that are non-interactive, basically. Yeah, so for me, that's really important, that you can find that something is not how you would do it, but I wouldn't hate on it. Like, then, yeah, big streamers, hot top category will be full of it, I guess. Follower only, subscription only, follow for a certain amount of time before you chat, stuff like that. Yeah, sure, why not? I can definitely see that. Would you recommend follow only chat for small channel? No. Unless you don't feel safe in your stream, unless you're experiencing some bot spam, some follow spams, if you're getting attacked. Like, I've seen some small streamers being targets of bot spams and stuff like that, then yes, but I would only recommend to do it like temporarily until it's over. I don't think it's super necessary, and I would say that if you have like 2 or 3 people in chat, you kind of want to have the smallest hurdle possible to chat. You want people to chat, right? Like, if you're small, so that's like the balance, right? If you're like really small, you want people to chat. If you're like really big, you want people to chat less. So like somewhere there's like an ideal amount of chat. Yeah, try not to block out people from chatting if you're small. Like, as I said, I think there's like somewhere there's a perfect amount of chat where it's maybe like 10 people actively chatting or something like that. Maybe like one message every 5 to 10 seconds should be fairly good to read. This is a tip I learned recently, and I had made a mistake many times over, is not to call out lurkers. Yes. I even read like a really interesting thing on Twitter where somebody says maybe we should get rid of the word lurker because they are viewers. They're not lurkers, they are viewers. Like, you wouldn't call a person who watches TV a lurker. Like, sitting on my couch, I'm lurking TV, or I'm lurking Netflix. Some people wanna just be there and watch it. Some people wanna interact with it, and both is fine. Both is totally legit way of consuming a stream. There's no value difference in somebody chatting and somebody not chatting. Both are there. Both are supporting your channel with their views. Don't make it a value judgment of somebody being there and not chatting. A lot of time when I'm lurking, I have the stream on my second monitor because maybe I'm doing something else on the first monitor. Still watching it, I just don't really want to switch over and type because maybe I'm doing something in Blender and Cities and video editing and whatever. So I thought it was a really interesting comment from this person. I kind of forgot to write down who wrote it on Twitter to say that maybe get rid of the word lurking. If you're naming the person like your gaming characters after viewers, I think that's legit. That's a good way of interacting with Twitch. But then you have to play them as in-game characters. Like, then you don't play them as a call out for that person. You know? Then you're like, this character in my game is now just conveniently called the same thing. But if I'm talking about that character in game, I'm not calling out the real person. So that's my first video on YouTube and my first ever discussion topic. I hope you liked it and thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe to this, you can do so and then you will see the next one. If you want to like it, then more people will get to see it. Thank you so much for spreading this and have a good time. See you.